Attention. Camp Master, senior staff, counselors in training. Please rise for our national anthem.
Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the sunshine? Are you ready for the birds and bees, the apple trees, and a whole lot of good? Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the hot nights? Are you ready for the fireflies, the moonlit skies, and a whole lot of good? No more pencils, no more books, no more.
So I don't know about you, Derek, but it's been mid-80s all week here at Camp Pizza, and I just can't handle it anymore.
Dude, I am so fucking hot. This camp has nothing. No ACs. We don't even have a box fan in the windows at night. I'm a mess. I don't do well in the heat. You know this. I'm losing my fucking mind.
You know what this camp needs, like ASAP, right this second?
A big ol' swimming pool. Olympic size with ice cubes tossed in that are the size of my body. Which is to say, slim and frail and dainty.
Skinny legends.
I think I know what you're gonna say for real though, because we're not getting a fucking swimming pool around here anytime soon.
I mean, really, it's the next best thing to a swimming pool, if I'm being honest. And that is what?
And the ice cream truck?
The Jolly Ollie man himself.
Damn, you beat me to it.
Jolly
Yeah,
Ollie
yeah, I could use some sweet cream on a stick, some little frozen juice on a goose. I don't know what that. I'm delirious. Listen to me. I'm too hot. I need something to cool me down.
Ice cream trucks, man, they were kind of the neighborhood hero, right? It'd be a really, really hot day, and you'd hear that jingle echo from afar, and you knew that ice cream was on its way. It was kind of like the water from the desert being delivered straight to your door.
Well, for me, it really was like being in a desert because the ice cream truck was nothing but a mirage in my neighborhood.
You didn't have an ice cream truck, really?
No, we were in a private neighborhood growing up, and it was off the beaten path, so we never, ever
Oh, man.
got an ice cream truck. And on the few occasions that I was at my grandparents' house and you'd actually hear the bells of the ice cream truck going down the street, I'd say, "Oh, please, Nanny, Grampy, oh, please, can I please go out to the ice cream truck? Please let me pick out something." And they'd go, "We have ice cream here. Grampy will make you a cone." I didn't want a cone, so I either didn't have it or I had a cone. And it was really few and far between that I actually got to run up to the ice cream truck and overpay for something that I could have gotten literally anywhere else for less money. But it's the experience, Grimey.
You don't get the same experience going up to your fucking freezer at your grandma's house and Nana and Papap's making you a cone. Fuck that shit. No, we want to overpay but still enjoy it, you know? If you haven't gathered, tonight's episode is all about ice cream trucks.
It is?
It is.
Oh.
It absolutely
I didn't pick
is.
up on that. I didn't know where this was going.
So, 4 ice cream truck and ice cream truck adjacent dessert favorites each. That was a lot to say. 8 total and a little banter in between why we picked them. You know our spiel. It doesn't get much more middle of July than this, my friends. So what do you say we hop into it?
Yeah, I'm ready. You know what ice cream bar always got me going? Always got me ready to fucking cool off and chill out.
I have no idea. What's the one that does it for you,
I
man?
have no idea. All right. So I was really racking my brain. And despite what I might have told you in the intro, there were a few select times when I did actually get to go to an ice cream truck. Okay. I wasn't that deprived as a child. Okay. And on the off chance that I did get to visit the ice cream truck, out of the vast array of choices that lay before me. More often than not, I found myself picking the Bubble Play bar. Do you remember a Bubble Play bar? Do you even know what a Bubble Play bar is?
Oh yeah. So this is what the fucking baseball glove with the baseball in it, right?
Yeah.
You
it was
see
a
what you're
cherry
doing, right?
Ice cream.
You see,
No, what?
you see
No,
what you're doing, right?
Talking about ice cream, of course.
You're a sports fan.
No, I'm not. No.
Another sports
No,
fan.
no,
Listen. I'm just gonna assume that every single one of your picks from here on out, not just this show, but every show, at least one is gonna be sports related. Because you're an in the closet sports fan. You just need to come out. Just come out already.
There was a time in my life, Grimey, where I enjoyed the occasional sport or two, okay? I'm not going to lie to you and say that there wasn't. And even now, I dabble with my NHL every now and then, my little NHL games on the Xbox. It's a good time. It's a good sport, okay? And baseball, it's America's pastime. How can you outright loathe it? You can't.
You're right. You're right. I'm just picturing it right now, though. You're at your little Chuck E. Cheese arcade playing your what the hell was it? The bubble hockey. You're just bubble hockeying, and then you're fucking dunking some basketballs in the old basketball thing, and then you're like, oh fuck, ice cream truck. I need that goddamn glove with the baseball in it.
Well, you got me there, you son of a bitch. I was sinking threes at Chuck E. Cheese. Sinking threes at Chuck E. Cheese. Somebody put it on a t-shirt. Don't worry, I will. Anyway.
So what's the flavor of this thing, anyways? What's going on with it?
Yeah, so the Bubble Play bar was a good humor bar, not dissimilar to what I mentioned at the top of the show, the Ninja Turtles ice creams. On a stick, it's shaped like a baseball glove. It's a cherry flavored ice cream. Can you even call it ice cream? It's that weird, like a sorbet.
That weird in between thing. Yeah.
Sherbet.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
They're just calling it on the actual ice cream truck sticker a cherry ice, which I feel uncomfortable about as well because it's not ice.
No, it's not.
It's not icy.
Softer than that.
Yeah, we'll call it a sherbet. We'll split the difference. We'll say it was like a cherry sherbet on a
pop.
stick. And this is super interesting too because I think my mind is playing tricks on me. Maybe this is a bit of the Mandela effect.
Oh.
But I remember this being a bubblegum flavored glove. Because I don't know that, kid me would really be jumping at a cherry flavor. It just doesn't seem like something that I would have done. Now, clearly I did because I got this a few times, like I mentioned. But I remember this glove being pink and not red. But like everything that I'm able to find online is telling me that this was a red cherry flavored piece of ice cream.
Oh man, it's so hard to say because they made so many different renditions of these fucking things. And not just, I know that they made the baseball glove and then they made like the Bigfoot with like the bubble gum on the big toe or whatever. But even like the baseball glove itself, like they've made a bunch of different, I know they've made different ones before, not just this one. And
you know what? You bring up a good point with the toe, with the foot, because I maybe that's what I'm confusing it with, because I definitely got that one in the past as well.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that one might have been bubblegum flavored, but either way,
Either way, that's not the star of the show here, Grimey.
No.
Why was I really buying this piece of ice cream?
Because you like sports. You're a fucking sports fanatic.
Bitch! No.
love that.
The real reason I was getting this ice cream bar was because it had the classic ice cream bar gimmick. It came with a piece of bubble gum.
Fuck yeah.
Now, the thing about this bubble gum, which is really the reason why I was picking this over, say, the Ninja Turtle bar, the Batman bar, what else did they have? I feel like there was a Taz bar at one.
Oh, dude,
time.
literally every character
there?
you could think of. There's like Tweety. There's SpongeBob and shit. Like there's every single one. There was a fucking listen. Street Sharks. There was a Street Sharks pop. When they get Street Sharks out
I
there,
remember that as well.
Everyone's got one.
Yeah. And what did all of those bars have in common?
They all kind of just had this really, really tiny 2 gumball thing going on with it.
Tiny 2 gumballs.
Yeah.
2 tiny gumballs for eyes.
Yep.
The thing about Bubble Play was it had 1 gumball that was white and it had the baseball laces actually printed on the gumball itself. But I remember this being, because they only had 1, actually a bigger gumball than probably the 2 little gumballs on all of those other treat bars combined.
Yeah.
And that's really what was selling me on it. First of all, I'm a sucker for a gumball, and I always have been, that has shit printed on it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I totally get it, man. Like the eyeball gumballs and anything that has like a picture or something that it makes it seem like it's something else. Totally there with you.
It's just like, I know that it's gum,
Yeah.
but it makes it feel so special. Like,
Yeah.
and it almost makes me start to think of it not as a gumball.
Exactly.
But put yourself in Old Navy in the back of the store at that giant fucking bouncy ball gumball dispenser.
Yes.
It doesn't give out gumballs, it gives out bouncy balls
Mhm.
for $0.25 a piece. And I know that they still exist because I actually just did that a couple weeks ago. I bought 2 because I had 50 cents on me. But it makes the gumball feel to me more like I'm getting a prize, like a big old bouncy ball, than a gumball. And then it also has the added benefit of being a gumball. So, all this to say, I'm a closet sports fan. I don't know. I won't watch a game, but if you tell me to sit down or take me to one, I'll probably have a good time. That's the Bubble Play Bar. Good Humor discontinued it, and you can actually visit their website and request to have it back. So if you also have any nostalgic memories for the Bubble Play Bar, go right now. What are you doing? Stop this podcast, quit work, go home, go to your laptop, and request this freaking bar back.
Go now. Go now.
Finally, it's a sad Taco Tuesday for Choco Taco lovers because Klondike is getting rid of the beloved treat that's been a staple for almost 40 years. 40 years. The ice cream brand says that there's too much demand on their other products to keep them around. So people are outraged on Twitter. One Choco Taco fan writing, I'd like to buy the rights to your Choco Taco and keep it from melting away from future generations' childhoods. Another saying the Choco Taco.
All right, hold on. I got to pour one out for the homies real quick.
Oh, you're pouring one out for the Bubble Play Bar? Yeah, me too. I've done that many times. Yeah. Very
No, not the Bubble Play Bar, unfortunately. I mean, we could pour one out for them too, but this one, I feel like this one's a real gang banging thug that ain't with us no mo, you know?
sad. I know who this is about. And
Yeah.
yes, you know what? I'll pour one out with you. Right here.
Pour one
Here
out.
you go.
Glug, glug, glug. Oh,
I did.
you did it.
It's all over me.
Anything for the pod. So yeah, we're talking about nothing other than the Klondike Choco Taco. Gone too soon.
Now hold up. Hold up. Before we even get into it, you just said Klondike Choco Taco?
Oh yeah, Klondike.
This was a Klondike product?
I don't think it was purely just a Klondike product. I think it was something else before. Or maybe it was Klondike first and then later something else. I really couldn't tell you. I didn't dig too far into it. But yeah, it definitely one of the images here I pulled up is Klondike Choco Taco. Right.
Wow. All right. So, yeah, I mean,
there.
I'm looking at it, and it's just so hard for me to believe because I actually really enjoyed a Choco Taco. But I'm about to say something very, bold yet brave.
Oh.
And
King.
that is that I cannot stand a Klondike bar. I would do
Oh man.
anything to not have to eat a Klondike bar. That's what I would do.
Negative Klondike. What wouldn't I do to avoid Klondike?
To not have to eat one of those things.
Oh, that's not. What is it about? Before we go any further, I need to know what's your gripe with the Klondike bar? Just boring or
It's
what?
just, it's the ice cream is just not very good. It's got like this taste about it, like this cheap vanilla.
Okay, yeah.
And pair that with the cheap chocolate shell, and it just doesn't work for me, and it never has.
Yeah.
I've tried so hard to like a Klondike bar, and that's why it's shocking to me to draw these parallels to my beloved, dearly departed Choco Taco, because if it truly is using the same ingredients, the difference that taco waffle shell makes is immeasurable.
Oh yeah.
Because it was delectable.
Yes.
The Choco Taco. That's a delectable treat compared to the absolute drivel that is a Klondike bar.
Yeah, totally. Everything that Klondike might have done wrong with their original Klondike bars, they got right with the Choco Taco. I mean, we're talking waffle
absolutely.
cone taco shell. We got the vanilla ice cream. the fudge swirl in the middle, milk chocolate coating with peanuts. I mean, it's literal heaven in an ice cream dessert. It's one of my favorite desserts ever. And like the thing about these is that you never know exactly what condition you're gonna get these fucking things in. Like they might be kind of crispy on the outside still, where like the taco shell area is, and they might not be. Like they might have that kind of, I want to say like a sogginess to them, not quite like melted ice cream soggy, but like just kind of softer, but still equally as enjoyable.
Yeah, it's like when you buy a pack of regular crunchy Chips Ahoy cookies in the month of July, and you open them and you eat one cookie, and then a day later you go to have another cookie, and it's just like the most, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
like the
yeah.
softest, most damp feeling cookie that's ever existed. Like that's kind of what the shell of the Choco Taco is, but
Yeah.
it works.
It does.
Works for the Choco Taco. I've never had one that had any crunch to it, and I was okay with that.
I might have had one or two, but usually, nah. It's got kind of the sogness to it, which it's perfectly fine. It didn't really take away from it at all. I don't know if you're aware, but they had other flavors. Did you know this?
I don't think I did, and I'm gonna preface this by saying I actually only had my first Choco Taco a couple years ago.
Oh, no shit. Man. Oh,
Maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. But still, in my long life, it's only been in the last like less than fifth of it that I've actually eaten a Choco Taco, and I'm kicking myself for not having gotten into them sooner, because obviously now, goodbye, R.I.P.
unfortunately. And to your point, I'm actually kicking myself in the ass even more for not hunting for all these other flavors. So we had the original. They made a peanut butter one, they made a cookies and cream one, and then they made one that was quote unquote fried ice cream flavored. So I don't really know what these all, the situation between all of them, if they just added a little bit of peanut butter to the original, or like if they were a full on completely different thing. But they all sound amazing, and I can't imagine having a Choco Taco that wasn't just like the original.
So, like, these all make sense to me except for the fried ice cream. Like, the peanut butter makes sense because the original already has peanuts in the, you know, they dip the magic shell in peanuts. So that's not a far-fetch to get there for the peanut
Sure.
butter, that peanut butter flavor. The cookies and cream makes a hell of a lot of sense, because I would imagine that you would swap out the waffle cone for a Oreo-style waffle cone.
That's
and
what
then
it looks
swap out
like, yeah.
Yeah, right? And then swap out the peanuts on top, maybe for some cookie pieces
Cookie
instead?
pieces probably. That, I mean, I don't think it's a stretch at all. Yeah, we could go there.
That's
for
not a
sure.
stretch. But the fried, how are you doing a fried ice cream? I'm not really, I can't wrap my brain around that.
Oh man, they do some weird shit. They fucking fry it and put it in one of them little bastards and send it on its way. I guess. I don't know.
Hold on. I just Googled it, and this makes a lot more sense. So what you actually get is, they discontinued these back in like 2007.
Okay.
So it was like a 2-piece pack. Wow, this
Oh.
is wild. I can't believe that they did this. So on the top pack, think of like a Fun Dip. You know how you used to get like all the different
Oh,
flavored.
no shit. Okay.
Yeah, so the top one, this is so crazy. The top one is actually just your regular Choco Taco, and then the bottom one is fryer oil. And they have you fry it yourself at home.
Shut up, you motherfucker. You had me going so bad, too.
I
like,
really did. That was
just
that was
Googled
one of
it.
the
Yeah,
better pranks
they
I've
give you the
pulled.
frying oil and everything. It's a three-pack thing. Motherfucker. I guess that's what I get for outing your baseball fandom.
That's what you get, bitch.
Ice cream!
All right.
I love ice cream.
Icy creamy ice cream, cold and sweet. Icy creamy ice cream, can't be beat.
Icy creamy ice cream. I giggle when I eat my icy creamy ice cream. Oh, what a treat! Well, thank you. Yeah.
I could eat a bowl. I could eat a cup. When I get some ice cream, I eat it all up.
Eat it with the topping. Eat it all alone.
Eat it with some pie.
Hey, Grimey,
Hey, Derek.
you ever hear of a tingle twister?
I don't think this is that kind of a show, honestly.
Oh, it's about to be this kind of a show.
Oh,
The
shit.
tingle twister. I'll tingle twist you. You just watch.
Are you talking about ice cream?
I'm actually talking about popsicles, tingle twisters from the mid 90s.
Just disregard any of that.
Yeah. Well, okay.
All right. So what the fuck is a tingle twister? I gotta know.
All right, so a tingle twister. These were actually a mainstay in my freezer growing up. And I feel like I might have gotten these off of an ice cream truck once or twice. But even if they didn't appear on an ice cream truck, they probably should have. Because you're looking at the photo of them, aren't you?
I'm indeed looking at this photo here.
Doesn't that look like a perfect ice cream truck ice cream?
Boy, it does. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you here. This looks pretty good.
For those of you at home who are having trouble picturing what these are, if you don't already know what they are, picture a regular popsicle, maybe a bit longer, because I remember these actually being pretty big. And up the sides, twisting around the actual popsicle, there are three different colors for 3 different flavors. You could either get a watermelon strawberry, bubblegum strawberry, or cotton candy strawberry. And so all 3 of these are either green, blue, or pink. And these additional flavors other than strawberry, think of almost like a Twizzler. That pattern that goes up the stem of a Twizzler.
No. Fuck that. That's not Twizzler. You know what that is? That is carved candle shaped. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but yeah, this has carved candle written all over it, in my opinion.
You have a picture of it? I don't know what you're talking about. Carved candle?
Yeah. These guys right here.
Oh, like the shit that you buy over at like a county fair or something. Like you got the little the little old ladies just like making candles. For whatever
totally.
reason. Okay, all right. I guess. All right, fine. I'll give it to you. So think of your county fair candles. That's what a tinkle twister looks like.
Which, to be honest, that makes it even more appetizing to me because I think that those look delicious and I wanted to eat them all the time. I don't know, it's the colors that get me, man.
Well, you're trying to eat every candle that's ever been made. That's a constant conversation that you and I are having.
Yes, candle, the candles that are residing on my desk right now, every candle. Yeah.
You go to Bath and Body Works with a spoon and they say, "Sir, can I help you with anything?" And you say, "No, just sampling." And you just start scooping out and eating little bits of the candle to see if that's the one that you're taking home with you.
Yeah, is that not the way to do it? Like, do people not do that? It's weird. Well,
yeah, it is weird that they don't, and it is weird that you get in trouble for it.
Yeah,
every time you go. Anyways, so I remember having these quite a bit when I was a kid. They were kind of my favorite, and this texture that I'm telling you about is really important. These little spirally rods running up the edges, because as you'll notice, Grimey, and for those of you listening, you might want to look up a picture of tingle twisters so you understand what I'm talking about here. But you see how they actually kind of protrude out from the regular center of the popsicle?
Yeah, they do kind of look like they're added to it almost.
You could bite those off.
Oh,
like
no shit.
Just those.
Really? They just kind of popped off?
Yeah, I don't really know if that was the intention of popsicle, was for you to bite those off, and or if you're just supposed to suck on it. But I found myself more often than not biting that off first. So I wouldn't get the combo flavors of cotton candy strawberry or bubblegum strawberry. I'd be getting bubblegum, and then I'd be getting strawberry, because I was very, like, corn on the cob is like how I was eating those popsicles.
Just corn on the cob and a bunch of ice pops.
Oh yeah.
No, these look pretty good though. I'm not gonna lie. The cotton candy strawberry. I'm looking at this. Is the cotton candy strawberry the blue and red one, or is it the pink and red one?
I think cotton candy is supposed to be pink. Bubblegum is supposed to be the blue.
Oh, so it's like a blue bubblegum and not a pink bubblegum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a difference.
There is a difference, but I don't even care. Like I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Now notice this is pretty interesting because they're owned by the same company now, but on the box it says Popsicle and Good Humor.
Yeah.
So they're like repping both brands on the box, which I just thought was an interesting little touch. But the real selling point of these popsicles, the Tingle Twister, is the Tingle Bit. The Tingle Bit. They had quote unquote tingly centers. Now here's the problem. These have been gone since the early 2000s at this point. So I haven't had one of these popsicles in over 20 years. I don't remember if it's more of a Pop Rocks tingle where it's like a little fizzy, or if it's supposed to be like sour and like a little like a tingly sour thing.
Like
going on.
Zots or whatever have that weird like fizzy powder on the inside of the candy. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. And judging by the picture here, it kind of looks like it's like the color surrounding these popsicles has like a weird fizz kind of texture to it. So I'm opting with the latter there. I don't know about a Pop Rocks kind of thing.
Yeah, and I really wish I remembered, but maybe somebody listening remembers. And if you do, like, genuinely reach out, because I need to know what the whole deal was. Because I'm trying to remember, and I remember loving them so much, and it would, like, help complete this circuit in my brain, saying, oh, it was this versus this. Because right now, all I got is a Zots thing going on, like Grimey said.
Yeah.
And that's very possible, but I'm not 100% on it.
Man, I really feel like I missed out. Most of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight is discontinued, but these, you know, I know that there's like so many different versions of these weird twisted popsicles. Like you have your fucking bomb pops and stuff like that. And this here kind of seems like a game changer. It has a nice little gimmick to it. And the flavors, they look like they slap, bro. So I think this is a great pick. Awesome pick.
They were all good. And the last thing that I'll say is that these came out during Popsicle's infamous, how do I want to put this? Like when they were at the top of their marketing game.
Oh, yeah.
And these were all part of that little gimmick where, remember the guy with the bug eyes and the
Popsicle, ho.
Yeah, ho. So I just want to say that the Tingle Twister is part of the ho movement.
Yes.
All right.
Bring back the ho movement, please.
I agree.
Jello pudding pops, frozen pudding on a stick. You know, Jello pudding pops is a winner with all the soapbox racers I know.
It is?
Mm-hmm. And even your mechanic's getting all revved up about it because it's so rich and creamy.
Yeah!
And it always gets the green light from Mom because it's made with real pudding.
Jello brand pudding pops. All the goodness of real Jello pudding. So you know it's wholesome.
A true winner.
And it gets a green light from Mom.
All right, this one goes out to another very, very beautiful, discontinued, beloved dessert, and that is Jello pudding pops. You know what I'm talking about, man?
Yeah, how could I not? You pour your heart out about these, but like fucking once a week.
Listen, nobody wants to
that.
ask the questions. You have to be careful. You know, you don't want to be assuming nothing.
You know what they say about assumptions?
You make an ass out of yourself.
Yeah, out of just me. Nobody else. Just me.
Oh, man. But the Jello pudding pops, holy fuck, where do I begin? These came out in the 70s, gained popularity in the 80s. They were marketed by General Foods and later reintroduced by Popsicle brand in 2004. The biggest thing about them, though, and I'm pretty sure everybody remembers, but I can't quite put a finger on it. Some guy that played like in a show, he was like the creepy dad or the creepy uncle. I don't even know what he was. He was fucking weird, man. He fronted all these like Jello things.
Oh, yeah. God, who was that? Yeah, I remember it was some show. It was some sitcom back in the 80s, right? And the guy. No, was it the guy? It might not
think
even
it was the
been
guy.
I don't know. But it was a sitcom and he was Jello pudding pop this and Jello pudding pop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, it's on
weird.
the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of who it is.
If any of you guys happen to remember who this fucking creepy bastard was, do let us know. Let us know in the comments. Wrong answers only.
No right answers. This is driving me nuts.
Yeah, right answers only. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
But the Jello pudding pop, oh man, these things were another 90s ice cream delicacy. Like the pudding aspect is just very, very prominent. They had this completely unique texture from like anything else that was out around that time, fudge pops and whatever have you. The things were soft, but I thought I was making shit up before I researched this a little bit, but like I always noticed when they kind of reached a certain temperature, when you like were thawing them out, they would kind of have this weird crystallized kind of outside coating where you could almost peel apart this like weird icy skin encasing them around them, like this very, very thin layer of like ice. And it just got better the more you went.
So we've talked about this in the past. And the thing that I get in trouble for is that I didn't have Jell-O pudding pops when, you know, from their heyday. I didn't have them in the 80s. Yeah, well, no shit, I didn't have them in the 80s. I wasn't fucking alive. Okay.
Right.
So unfortunately, I guess, the only version I've ever had is this one here, this popsicle brand reintroduction from 2004 onwards that you're showing me. Because my parents did get that quite a bit. We're looking at it. It's got the chocolate, the vanilla, and the chocolate and vanilla swirl combo pops. And these are shaped way more like just a standard popsicle.
Yeah.
And I remember those specifically, and to your point, it was like if I brought it outside even for 5 minutes before I opened up the popsicle, it was just straight up ice. It was like an actual piece of ice on the side. And I loved that. I would just pop the side of it off and then eat the piece of ice. It was like getting a little ice treat with your pudding pop.
And I guess that's one of the big things that General Foods used to play up on. And there's a pretty big reason for it. And obviously it's different from the popsicle version, but I'm curious at how much different. Because I still feel like I got that from it. So the thing is, General Foods, they had these, this is quoting from online, highly functional, specially modified tapioca starch is capable of delivering textural satisfaction and exceptional freeze-thaw properties. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That whole sentence...
Science.
No, that sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger in an 80s sci-fi movie where he's trying to convince a woman that he's their ideal mate, but you find out that he's part robot. You know what I mean?
No, that was last episode. We were talking about sleeping shorts.
I have highly functional, specifically modified tapioca starches capable of delivering textural satisfaction and exceptional freeze-thaw properties.
That's like, fucking salute your shorts, dude. I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Ah, fuck. Yeah,
so
you're
weird.
Right. My bad.
This last episode. But anyways, what one do you go with mostly?
I was always a fan of the swirl.
The swirl?
But that's because I'm a fan of swirls whenever I can get them.
And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was always on the chocolate, but like if there was a swirl left, I was definitely not taking that fucking vanilla one. You can kiss my ass. The swirl is where it was at.
It's funny because I was like a vanilla pudding kid growing up. I really loved vanilla pudding.
Yeah.
I loved all pudding.
I was a pudding
boy.
Same. Yeah, I love pudding. Despite having good sales, though, they were discontinued in the 80s and the 90s from not being profitable anymore, I guess. That was the wording they said. I just don't really understand. So maybe they weren't charging enough. Who knows? But as you can see here, they were reintroduced in 2004. The formula changed. They updated the packaging, texture and the shape, and also a couple other things changed, and they never quite reached the popularity they once had, leading to discontinuation. I'm kind of calling bullshit on that, I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like these were still like a household staple, among other things. Like, during the summertime, this was in our freezer at all fucking times. I know it wasn't just me buying the shit out of these things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm split, because while I know my parents grew up with them to an extent, and they liked them, I liked them, but I don't think I ever would have asked for them. I think my parents were probably buying them based off of their own nostalgia for them, or maybe just because it was something different to have in the house. And they were good. I'm not going to say that they weren't good. I just
wasn't something you were like, yeah, we need to have this.
Yeah, I just never asked for them when I was a kid.
Well, there you have it, kids. Derek's the reason why we no longer have Jell-O pudding pops, because he didn't beg his parents. Thanks, Derek.
New sprinklers, candy-coated ice cream.
Fetch, Duke.
Nice throw, doofus.
Popsicle zone.
Can you believe that I'm on my third pick of this show and I still haven't talked about ice cream proper? Isn't it supposed to be an ice cream show, Grimey?
Well, ice cream truck, so we're not going to get just ice cream proper in a truck, but yeah, I do feel like it's kind of like maybe like a felon, maybe.
Yeah, a little felony. I mean, I have talked about sports.
Let's talk about
I
sports.
have talked about tingling twisters.
Sports 1, ice cream proper 0.
All right, I guess I'll rectify that with this pick here. I am going with the Sprinklers Ice Cream Bar. Also released by Popsicle brand, but this one actually does count as real, actual ice cream. In a sense, at least. It's probably not very good ice cream, much like the Klondike bar situation.
When I was looking at this, I was just thinking, I was like, how am I going to tell him that this is basically just a Klondike bar with sprinkles on the outside? But you did it you just did it for me, so it's good.
Yeah, I guess I did. I guess I'm about to eat my own words.
But, here's the thing. This is Popsicle brand ice cream. This is not Klondike.
Right. And I know that there's probably some connection between Popsicle and Klondike, but I don't want to hear about it. So don't write in. Don't tell me that one
don't
want to
know.
Other.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. All right? Let
Don't
me live
ruin
blissfully ignorant here, okay?
Yeah. Man, I'm looking at this, though, and what a fucking awesome concept this is. I know it's, like, super simple and nothing that's, like, really breaking any boundaries in the ice cream game or anything, but when you're looking at this thing, it kind of feels like it does. Like it's tantalizing to the
100%.
senses.
100%. So for those of you who might not remember or aren't clued in, the Sprinklers Ice Cream Bar is exactly what it's called. It is an ice cream bar, a vanilla ice cream bar, dipped in a chocolate, I'm assuming, magic shell, right? It had to be like a magic shell. And before that magic shell got a chance to harden, they absolutely fucking loaded this thing up with nonpareil sprinkles. And when I say loaded it up, I mean there isn't like a square inch, a square centimeter on this ice cream bar that doesn't have a sprinkle on it. And it's beautiful rainbow sprinkles. So this is like one of the most colorful ice cream bars that's probably ever been produced.
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful. It kind of reminds me of like the static on a TV. It's the static TV bar.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. I remember this one, again, I don't think I ever actually got this off of an ice cream truck, but I do know that they had this one available for home consumption. You could go buy a pack over at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I remember both my grandmother, not the one who used to make me cones, my other grandmother, and my mom stocking these in their freezers for a bit when they were around and they were a popular ice cream offering. And I just remember this thing making an absolute mess. Not because it was falling apart and sprinkles were falling all over the place. Those actually surprisingly stayed put.
Oh, well, now I'm interested because that's what I was going to say. These little fuckers had to have been rolling all over the floor and shit, but what is it?
You would think, but no. The real issue and the real reason it would make a mess is because it does what sprinkles do, Grimey. You give that to a little kid and you tell him to go to town on it. My whole fucking face was rainbow colored
tie-dye.
by the time I was done with it. Just totally tie-dyed. My mouth, my tongue, my teeth. And of course, little kids can't eat anything cleanly. So it was probably all over the rim of my lips. I probably looked like an old elderly lady had applied, lipstick just all the way around my mouth, missing my lips completely.
That's being a kid right there. No cares in the world, just getting probably red one and blue one and all kinds of different artificial colors all over your face. Just throwing all caution to the wind.
Well, that's sort of it with all of our picks tonight. I mean, the one that I'm picking next, my last pick of the evening, it'll make sense. But when I was looking it up, somebody was listing some of the ingredients and how they achieved it. And it was every single
all the banned
food
flavor.
coloring that's been banned in the modern age that kids would never get. That's what it was made out of. And I'm sure this Sprinklers ice cream bar was no different because they weren't using food safe, even though they were food coloring. They weren't using like the modern food safe dyes for those sprinkles. No, this was probably like the same shit that they were making crayons out of. So the reason that we were probably all going off the walls and just completely psychotic when we were kids was because of all this food dye, and sprinklers did not shy away from that food dye. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
One sprinkler and your kid is a fucking pinball machine. But great pick, man. Yeah, these look awesome. Really wish, I suppose it wouldn't be all that hard to replicate now.
You just got to, I guess, grab a Klondike bar.
Melt it a little bit and then just toss it in some sprinkles.
That's it. That's all you got to do. And I won't be doing that, by the way. I refuse.
Time to talk about Vampire's Secret Ice Pops.
Yeah, had to be done.
Had to be
done.
Now, these were from Good Humor. There's not really a ton of information on them other than early 90s, probably very late 80s. This is an ice pop that's fit not just for summer, but also Halloween. I love the whole idea behind these things. We have a black cherry ice pop with a gooey cherry sauce inside, which might sound off-putting to some people, but trust me, it's not. I've had something similar, and it's not fucking weird at all. This sounds like a delicious treat here.
That's something that's severely lacking in today's ice cream game.
Yeah.
Is a gooey center.
Mm-hmm.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, or maybe the stake through the heart with this one.
Ooh, I see what you did.
It's not gross. It's almost a delicacy. But I think people think that it's like melted, or like the consistency would be weird. And again, we had pops like this when we were younger. I loved them. I always did. It was like a little slimy, but in the best way. Mm-hmm. Like the tube gel candies that you used to be able to get.
Oh, yeah.
It's that, but inside of a popsicle. Like, you can't go wrong there.
No, not at all. And this one, among the very best, if not the best. I mean, just the color scheme. This thing, and I'm not talking about like it's purple black. Like these, to look at them on this box here, they are fucking charcoal black, like black licorice black. They're not skimping on that food coloring at all. Canada is waving their middle fingers at us like, well, it's not coming into Canada. You can't get them here. And then the red, presumably black cherry flavored blood thing in the middle. Man, it's so fucking dark red looking from this box here. And I know I keep saying box, like the box is beautiful. So we have this like, it says Vampire's Secret Ice Pops right across the top there. And like the vampires is this white text with this dripping blood at the bottom. And there's a silhouette of the moon in the background. And we have this very awesome depiction of a vampire. I'm not going to say Dracula because I don't think it's Dracula, but it's definitely a vampire. He's got green skin. He has the white highlight in the hair. It's all slicked back, and he has this purple fucking cloak on. It's just the most aesthetically pleasing vampire ever, probably. It's just so cool.
They made an odd choice, though, with the green skin. I don't, that screams more zombie or more classically Frankenstein's monster. So why they decided with the green skin for a vampire? Kind of an out of left field choice.
I kind of think that was their train of thought, though. They were like, well, he's a monster, and everybody, knows Frankenstein's monster. He's got the green skin. We want a monster on our box. Drew a connection, just threw it together. It just looks so good.
I see what you're saying. So they're going, green means monster.
Yeah.
Any other color, people are going to say, why does this greaser have fangs?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if you knew anything else about these. There's actually two different versions of this guy. So there's Vampire's Secret Ice Pops, which are these smaller cylindrical ones, similar to what a Jell-O pudding pop shape would be, like the later version, the popsicle version.
Yeah. These are just like a standard popsicle sized treat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then the other version, which seems to have only been in ice cream trucks exclusively, They are the Vampire's Deadly Secret Ice Pops.
Deadly Secret.
Deadly
yes.
Secret, all right? These were like a full-shaped bar. They were like an ice cream bar, like like those little cookie crunch bars that you got back in the day, shaped like that.
Sort of shaped like a fudgicle.
Yeah, absolutely. But with the same concept, it had the red filling. I'm assuming the reason why these got discontinued is because of the deadly and the whole just, I don't know, a horror-themed ice cream pop. Like, it doesn't fly well with parents, maybe.
Yeah, I think we kind of have to blame the whole ending of the 90s for that. Because if you remember, and I'm sure you do, from the early 90s straight through till the end of the 90s, the monsters, the Universal monsters in particular, had quite the resurgence. They had a little bit of a golden period where everything was monsters, every Halloween, all the time, everywhere. So much so that they even got their own U.S. stamps for the U.S. Postal Service.
Oh, dude, they had everything. Stamps, gummies, cookies. They were on fucking Pepsi products and Doritos. They were on everything.
So it's not wrong to say that monsters were pretty hot in the 90s. And after that, when everything went extreme, kids really just didn't give a crap
care
about
the monster
anymore.
stuff. Yeah, you're right, man.
Swap out Vampire's Secret for Tony Hawk's Secret.
Tony Hawk's Secret, and then you got yourself an edgy little treat there.
Yeah, a little Dave Mira's Secret Ice Pops, you know? Just
Tony Hawk's Secret Tape ice cream.
Oh,
yo, dude! I mean, there's a concept if I've ever seen it.
So bad. I mean, these Vampire Secret Pops are good, but I want Secret Tape Pops way more. Oh, you son of a bitch! I'll never get it, will I?
No, never. We'll have to make it ourselves. But you mentioned earlier, was it with the fucking baseball mitten that you could? You could request for it to make a comeback. This also has that on the Good Humor site.
I did notice. And they also happen to have Fat Frog up there. Did you see that?
I did see Fat Frog, yeah. Which would also be a pretty cool comeback, honestly. But I think, with all due respect, love the fucking baseball mitten. Love the Fat Frog. Out of all the ones that are on that website that they're pushing to come back, or at least it seems like they're pushing to come back, this is the one for me because, one, I've never tried them before, and that just feels criminal. I feel like I've broken so many laws. Like, I'm not even sure how to... I don't think I'm ever going to financially recover from this at all. Like, that's the feeling I get. And, I need to try this. I need to be able to have this box and hide it away forever and ever. And there's no way I'm going to be able to do that because you don't see this box literally anywhere. So if you could spam the Good Humor website, all of you 5, 6, 7 people that listen to us, please.
All right, I like to propose a compromise. Let's bring back Fat Frog. Let's bring back Vampire's Secret. Let's combine the two into Vampire's Fat Frog.
Vampire's
and the
Fat
inside
Secret.
of Fat Frog is just stuffed with bloody cherry goo. How about that? And while you're at it, give me the fucking Tony Hawk ice cream because I can't sleep until it exists.
Lick a color. As you lick, they change colors. The colors, Duke. The colors.
I'm colorblind, kid.
Popsicle. From Good Humor.
All right, Grimey. My last pick of the evening is really, really hard to say. I know that you just had a problem saying it.
I did.
And I'm going to have a problem saying it. It's the Popsicle Lick-a-Color Popsicle. Oh my God, I actually said it correctly.
You did. Holy shit, round of applause.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
See, for me, it's the Pokemon Lick-a-Tongue. So like, as soon as I say lick, like that comes out next, and
yeah, well, that's natural. That rolls off the tongue,
right?
Lick-a-tongue,
yeah,
Lick-a-tongue, Lick-a-Color. That's yeah, it's not good, but you know what? It is good. Is the Lick-a-Color Popsicle. It was delicious.
It was really
I loved
good.
this. I loved this as a kid. Did you ever have one growing up?
Yes, and you mentioned the popsicle commercials from back in the day. This is the one I mostly remember, where like every time he takes a lick, the whole screen turns a different color.
Oh, Oh yeah,
It was the best
absolutely.
commercial. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No, but I'm going with it.
All right.
Going with it. I'm sure
you gotta
I'll
watch
it
this
at some
afterward.
point.
It's so good. Like you're gonna fall in love with this commercial. I promise you.
So now, for everybody listening at home, if you are familiar with Lick-A-Color, I need to make a distinction because there were technically two different versions of the Lick-A-Color popsicle. There was one version, which is not what I'm talking about, where it was stacked. All of the colors of the rainbow. It started at the bottom and it Roy G. Biv'd its way up to the top. And you could see a clear distinction.
Caught me off guard.
I Roy G. Biv, baby.
Roy G.
That's
Biv.
my everyday life. I've never forgotten. Never forget. Never forget.
Never forgetty.
So, God damn it. So you can see each of the colors distinctly when you pull the popsicle out of the package.
Yeah.
You can see the red, the yellow, the blue, orange, green. It's all there laid out in front of you. You know what you're getting. That's not my Lick-A-Color. Hashtag not my Lick-A-Color.
That was going to be my next question. Which one do you prefer? And I'm glad you're picking the other one because while that one is kind of cool to like see them all, and you're like, oh, wow, there they all are. It's kind of fun to have like the surprise, I guess.
Yeah, so for those of you not clued in, the Lick-A-Color I'm talking about is basically the everlasting gobstopper of popsicles.
Well said.
That's it. And when you actually look it up and you're looking at the ice cream truck label, that's exactly how they're picturing it on the label itself. Because they show this cross section of the pop itself, and you see that you start with the red on the outside or the blue on the outside. There's two different kinds, so it sort of would vary which flavor they put on the outside and how they would do all the flavors. But same concept is that red is the first outer layer, and then on the second layer down, it's like looking through the Earth's core. You know when you're in elementary school and they'd show you that picture of the Earth and they've like sliced a portion of it, and you can see down through all the different mantle and blah blah blah. So it's like red, yellow, blue, orange, and green at the very center. These were so good, and I personally think underrated, because again, if we're talking ice cream, the whole pop culture thing to do right now and for the last 10 years has been bring up the Ninja Turtle ice creams, right? We have to talk about the turtle ice creams.
That's
now
the
it's
easy
the Minion
one.
Pops.
That's the
it's
easy
so
one.
easy.
It's just like
it's so easy.
There ain't nobody that's like, no, let's fucking talk about Lick-A-Color, except you and I. Like, this is fucking
yeah, here we are.
So good. Like, and
it deserves it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm here to say. Lick-A-Color deserves its time in the sun. The TMNT Pops are great. I'm done with them. I'm so sick of hearing about them. It's Lick-A-Color's time to shine. All right? So these were super interesting because right out of the gate, they felt like they were bigger than most normal popsicles because of how many flavors they were fitting into one pop. It felt huge. At least it did to me when I was a kid.
Yeah, there was only one other one that I felt that was like kind of rivaled in size, and that was I want to say it's called the It's a Kadoozy.
Yes. Okay. And the It's a Kadoozy is similar to the Tingle Twister.
It is very, very similar.
In shape.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the It's a Kadoozy, then you know the Tingle Twister. And if you know the Tingle Twister, then you're a friend of Lick-A-Color. All right? We're all
big, happy
related.
family.
Now, these pops, I already mentioned they're big. What I really, really liked about these pops was the texture of them.
Yeah.
Because they were somewhere between a standard popsicle and the ice that you mentioned on the outside of the Jell-O pudding pops.
Yeah, they had that. There's very, very distinct texture to these. Like, they were softer in a strange way. Almost like, I don't know, I want to say like a soft but solidified slush, kind of.
Yes, that's exactly it. Because they had to be, however they were making these, they had to have been flash frozen in each different, in each different flavor, which meant that the actual consistency of the juice or whatever it was that they were using must have been different than a standard popsicle, because they were, again, we're going back to the candle thing. It was like they were dipping it in each different flavor until it wound up to be the big ass popsicle at the end of the day.
You did it. You found the hidden theme.
I did it. I looped it back to the beginning to close it out for my section. Shit. We're doing good. But yes, what I really liked is that you couldn't take your time with these pops. You couldn't sit down and treat it like a normal popsicle. You couldn't suck on it. You couldn't lick it because this thing was so big and these layers also almost started like melting independently of each other that like it wouldn't be uncommon to like start seeing some green dripping down the stick while you're still on the red layer. The green's on the inside, the red's on the outside. You got to work quick.
You're so right too. There's no lies involved in this at all. Like I'm totally just forgetting but remembering that exact experience right now. Like having the inside pop dripping down from the middle of the stick and just being super pissed because I wasn't even close to being done yet. Like fuck.
And the only way that you could actually get to it and make sure that you're eating more than you're melting is by biting through it, which is kind of not what you should be doing with most ice pops. With most popsicles, you kind of want to savor it a little bit, you know, make it last, suck on it, whatever. These ones, it was almost like you were encouraged to bite through each of the individual layers. And honestly, I just liked doing it for two reasons. One, for the texture when you would bite through, because these would almost shatter into the next layer because of how thin each layer was to get to the layer underneath. So that was fun. That was a great texture in and of itself. But the real reason to do it is, again, right on that ice cream truck sticker. I just wanted to see all the layers at once. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's one of them just kind of aesthetically pleasing things. It's almost like, I don't want to say ASMR, but fuck it. Yeah, it's basically like 90s ASMR.
Yeah, this was ASMR before ASMR existed, I guess. For me, at least. I don't know. I maybe a stretch, but I agree. I agree with that.
Now these are gone? Discontinued?
As far as I can tell, I mean, I haven't seen them in ages, and there's nothing leading me to believe that they're still in production, which is kind of a bummer. There's other things sort of kind of like it. Currently, I know that they make the Crayola Scribblers ice cream pops or popsicles that have multiple flavors and they look like crayons. So it's supposed to be a multicolored crayon, which that's cool, but it's not the same thing as Lick-A-Color.
One thing about a lot of the foods we talk about is that most of them are gone. Do kids just stop enjoying shit? Like, what happened? I just don't understand. Or is it just the safety of the food and yada yada? There's always this big to-do when it comes to safety. Like, all the best foods are gone because of it now. It sucks.
I agree. And now the only thing I can propose to close out this section for myself here is that if they are truly gone, they should be brought back. And at the top of this segment, I mentioned how they're like the gobstoppers of popsicles. And I think that they should be brought back and that should be their main gimmick. Completely get rid of the Lick-A-Color branding because that's so boring. It's such a basic and not so memorable name for these pops.
True.
I say bring them back as Gobstopper Pops. And I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago, they were actually doing Wonka ice creams you could get in stores. Remember the Laffy Taffy banana pop?
Oh, yeah.
That had a peel that you actually had to peel that you could eat before you got to the banana ice cream?
I don't remember that.
Well, it existed. And if that can exist, Lick-A-Color can come back as a Gobstopper pop, and they'd probably sell really well because Gobstoppers have name recognition.
Well, you and me be buying them, so like they got us hooked anyways. I mean, we keep them afloat, I'm sure.
Listen, the amount of money I spend on ice cream is absolutely obscene. I'm sure that they would be doing fine. They'd all be getting their corporate bonuses by the end of the year.
Yeah. Easily. All right, my last pick of the evening. This one is near and dear to my heart. I have had this plenty of time. I dream about this probably even more. And that is the Nickelodeon green slime popsicles.
You do be dreaming about popsicles.
I do be
He
dreaming
tells
about
me,
them popsicles, bro. Seriously,
like
man.
twice a
And-
week.
Oh, at least. And I don't know when these came, and I don't know when these went. I'm telling you, like, there's really not a lot of information online about these at all. And I've tried to dig deep. There's nothing. Maybe one little website that has a couple of things. It might show like the box art or whatever, and like the Nickelodeon fucking ad that was probably in a comic book or whatever. And that's pretty much it. There's a Facebook page, and I was like, oh, this is probably one of them bring it back kind of Facebook gathering pages. No, man, it's just like someone designed this page and they put this one picture on it, and that's it. So
That's old Facebook is what
Yeah,
that is.
man.
That's
It
when
really is.
that's the shit I would do in middle school where it was just like there's no rhyme or reason to a page. I just made it because nobody else did.
yeah, exactly. Like the least they could have done with this is did the every single day another picture or the same picture of Jim Carrey thing. They could have at least posted the picture every single day. But I don't know.
Now it's not that we don't know nothing about this. We know one
plenty.
date. We know one date at least that these existed in 1997.
Right.
So
yeah.
if they existed before 97, I don't know. If they existed after 97, until how long? Couldn't tell you. But I do know based off of this print ad that was scanned here, 1997. That's when that was printed. So we know at least they existed in the late 90s.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you don't know what these are, I'm so sorry. You have missed this delicacy because they were absolutely a delicacy. These were, so there's 3 different flavors. They're cylindrical shaped. And again, they have like a gooey center to them. That's kind of gooey liquid center. We have watermelon, blue raspberry ice, and strawberry ice. And on the inside is the green slime center. And what flavor is it?
Bubble gum.
Fucking bubble gum, dude. This was the best flavored thing on the planet. I'm convinced that this is the best bubblegum flavored thing ever. I reminisce on these. I'm telling you, I know I told you already. I'm going to tell you again. I reminisce on these at least 25 times a day. Like, bring these fucking things back.
Do you know why they're so good and why you love them so much? It's the bubblegum flavor, but do you know specifically what kind of bubblegum flavor it is?
No. Is it the amoxicillin bubblegum?
It's the fucking amoxicillin flavor.
I knew, I figured that's where your mind was going.
These were basically amoxicillin popsicles. And like, if you're describing a version of heaven, my version of heaven,
man.
that's it.
Yeah.
You're telling me I can have amoxicillin all day, every day, and it's going to cool me off?
Yeah.
Oh, you're an angel.
Dude, it's so good. These were great. Now, I didn't care which flavor I got. I went in there blindfolded and picked a couple of times. I didn't give a fuck. Usually I had a favorite when it came to popsicles. No, not these. Like, blue raspberry, I'll take it. Watermelon, fuck yeah, dude. Strawberry, I don't give a shit. Just give me that shit, man. It's so good.
I mean, it didn't really matter with these because the outside flavor wasn't what was important. It was that sweet amoxicillin goo on the inside because that's really all you could taste with these.
Mm-hmm. And I know that these, obviously it's a Nickelodeon thing. That wasn't the thing that really appealed to me. Like, the whole idea of just having this, like, goo slime thing in the middle. Obviously, I'm a very huge Turtle fan. I don't know if any of you guys knew that or not about me, but, like, they could have easily rebranded these for Turtles. Like, they could do that right now. Hint, hint. Nickelodeon owns them. Hint, hint.
Wink, wink.
You know what I'm saying?
Nudge, nudge.
Now, I talked a lot about how good these are. You know what's not good?
Oh, boy.
Later on, they brought a second variant to the table. They had all the same outside flavors. They did not, however, have the same slime flavor. Do you know what the slime flavor was? It was fucking sour lemon lime.
Ugh.
So here's a story. I went to the grocery store the one time, not even thinking, Saw them. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get them because we're out. Whatever. Get home, pop one in, and I'm like, I actually spit it out because I was so upset. I was like, what the fuck? This is not bubblegum flavor. This is not it. There's something wrong with these, Mom. I was like, these need to go back. And we're reading the box. I'm like, oh, then here it is. Lemon lime. They fucked up big time.
Oh my God. You got absolutely tricked, bamboozled.
Dude,
even.
I was bamboozled, fucking duped. Completely. They dunked on me, bro. I feel so dunked on. And I don't appreciate being dunked on.
You got dunked on hard. And shortly after that, Nickelodeon took a nosedive in quality, both
Huge
in terms
nosedive.
of ice pops and content. Are
yeah.
you to blame? Maybe. Who could say?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. No idea when they were discontinued. No idea what happened. I don't know if... I know that a lot of people like these because you go up online right now and you look up fucking Nickelodeon Ice Pops and you have at least 3,000 posts up on Reddit and like an Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Anytime this picture, this image of this ad pops up or the box cover, anything, there's thousands of people that are all like, oh man, I remember these things were so good. Also, fuck that lemon lime shit. But like...
Oh, there's more of you out there.
Yeah, there's plenty.
There's just hordes of you and angry mobs worth of Grimeys out there just forever scarred by the lemon lime flavor.
Yeah. I don't know. I do have this jotted down here at the end, though. I will say, out of all the discontinued items on this list, between the both of us, Choco Taco, Vampire Secret Ice Pops, Derek's Glove, all the things that are gone, I want them all back, don't get me wrong, but like this one practically shaped my childhood. The flavor of this thing, the texture, everything about this, basically it shaped a good portion of my childhood, a good year or two or whatever, however long they were out. Like it's right up there for me with like Ecto Cooler, pizzerias, cinnamon cookie Dunkaroos, like all these good things that practically shaped my childhood. This is on there. So for me, yeah, this is it for me. This one needs to come back ASAP.
No, I totally agree with that. And a couple of years ago, didn't they try bringing back something?
You know, I wasn't even going to
slime
mention it,
pops?
but we're going there. They did the like ice cream bar, and it was orange, and it had like a swirl of some green, probably lime or whatever in it. And they kind of branded it up like that. They did the same thing in like a cup too, like a little cuppy thing. But like Nickelodeon has this weird thing where they'll bring something back, but like half-ass the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. Between this ice cream, the Applejack cereal that we got, it wasn't even supposed to be Applejack's, in my opinion. It was supposed to be the Nickelodeon slime cereal. Completely different things. And all it did was leave a fucking bad taste in my mouth.
Literally.
I was angry,
Quite
dude.
literally.
Like, when I saw on like all the big news sites and stuff, fucking BuzzFeed, like, hey guys, Nickelodeon slime pops are back. And I'm like, this is not fucking Nickelodeon slime pops. Like, fuck you and your clickbaity bullshit. Like, I'm swearing a lot, and it's because I'm passionate about these things, man. Like, I'm really...
This guy...
They need to come back, dude.
He's passionate about his green slime ice pops. I'm right there with you, though. I remember having these and loving these. Just something about the bubblegum goo. It's just... It's just such a core experience and like a core part of what it was to be a kid in that time period.
Not just a kid, but a Nick kid.
A Nick kid, exactly.
Nick kid.
Those Cartoon Network kids, those Disney Afternoon kids, they never got no special ice pops.
No way, dude.
And if they did, I don't want to hear it. Don't write in. I don't want to hear it.
Don't ruin dreams. No, seriously, like, picture this, man. Ice cream truck rolling in, you hear your little jingle in the background, you get your ice cream, you get your Nickelodeon ice pop, you go into your house and you're cooling in front of the air conditioner there with your ice pop, and you're watching Kablam or some shit, or watching Nickelodeon Smell-O-Vision. Like, come on.
Well, that's just it, man. Nickelodeon was more than just a brand. It was more than just a channel. It was like kind of a way of life for kids back then. Either you were a Nick kid or you weren't a Nick kid. If you weren't a Nick kid, you're not going to get it. Move on.
Totally.
But for the Nick kids, unfortunately, we're all still Nick kids. probably to a depressing degree. And the only thing that will fill the void in our soul is tasting these bubblegum centered green slime ice pops once again.
Mm-hmm. So, Nickelodeon, Viacom, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem movie, I'm sure you're listening. Make it happen.
Figure it out, bozo.
Stat.
Nick, 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 Nick. Nickelodeon. Nick is kids.
All right, so that was our Ice Cream Truck Faves show. That's about all the time we have for now. Really had a lot of fun doing this one. I've been wanting to do this one for a pretty long time now, and finally I feel like this was just the right time to do it.
Yeah, you've been pretty much begging me to do this show since we started doing the podcast.
Yeah, even before, like I was like, listen, when we start a podcast, we need to do an Ice Cream Truck's favorite thing, because, I mean, come on, Ice Cream Trucks, it's nostalgia heaven. I mean, you guys all get it. You're here for a reason, right?
I mean, you even wrote an article years ago about like ice cream trucks in movies and TV, and that was sort of your way to make yourself, feel held over and satiated until you actually got around to recording this episode. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'm happy for you. You got what you wanted today.
I'm
you
happy.
got what you wanted today.
I love this for me too. I love it. But
I love that for you. I mean, you didn't get everything that you wanted, like a green slime ice pop, but you got most of what you wanted today.
If only. But it's not going to happen. So we do thank you for listening, though. And if you dig what you just heard here, make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms.
That's right. You can check us out on Instagram at Leftover Pizza Podcast, as well as the new Instagram app, Threads, which is basically a Twitter killer. And I'm hoping it works out because we're having a great time over there. It's been one day, and we're having a good time.
It has.
So you can find us over on Threads as well at Leftover Pizza Podcast.
You can also check us out if you're going to, go back to Twitter, whatever. We're there too, I guess. Leftover Pizza Club. That is at LFTOVR Pizza Club. Check us out there too if you'd like.
And if you're checking us out on Twitter, you might as well go and check us out over on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Leftover Pizza. If you're already there and you liked our page, you might as well join the Leftover Pizza Club, which is a special little group full of a bunch of members. And if you join, you get a free sticker and an official welcome letter just for joining. So come chat with us, get yourself a free sticker, and hang out.
Doesn't sound too bad. And if that wasn't enough, check us out over on our website, leftoverpizzaclub.com, where you can read all kinds of nostalgic articles and junk food reviews. The spooky season's coming up very, very soon. You're going to want to keep an eye out for that, for sure.
Absolutely. And speaking of articles, we're also on Patreon. So for as little as $1 a month, you can get exclusive articles that will only ever be published on Patreon. And for $3 a month, you get the articles and you get bonus episodes. And we've been hanging out at Camp Pizza all summer. Our bonus episodes are also at Camp Pizza. So if you like what you hear for free, you might want to pay the $3 a month and go listen to a little bit more, a little bit of an extension on those episodes as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you don't want to do that, here's something you can do. Wherever you're listening to us, however you're listening to us, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. All that stuff helps a great deal, and we appreciate it very, very much.
Hugely. Any reviews, any subscribers, we love you all, and we thank you for listening, because you don't have to listen, but you do, and you keep tuning in, and you're the best, and you all deserve a Nickelodeon ice pop. I'd give you a Choco Taco, but Grimey's hoarding them all in his freezer.
Yeah. Oh, man. Sounds like a storm's rolling in. You hear that?
Was that thunder? I just thought you farted.
I mean, I did, but that's not the noise. Oh man, no, it's starting to rain.
That is thunder. Oh god. All right, quick. I guess we gotta get into the cabin. Oh god, this sucks. We had a whole day planned.
At least it'll cool it off. Well, thanks for listening. Take care. Get the fuck out of this rain.
All right. See you later.